Hi guys, here second episode of Altitude and Trails podcast. So we are here again today with Paolo Manigoods. We are going to talk again about clean meat, wild game meat, and Paolo is gonna tell us a lot of things today. We're gonna try to go into the topic a lot more. So, hi Paolo,
Hi everyone again.
how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Fine.
Quite cloudy today. The lockdown seems it's almost over, but let's talk about clean meat, which is much better.
Yeah, that's a lot better, I think. Yes, 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 good. So anyway, we introduced a little bit yourself for the previous episode. So I think today is time to get into the topic, the real topic that it's we call clean meat on the way. So we want to see really give some advices to the hunters to how to treat the meat that they get from the wild game they're chasing. So I'm gonna try to ask you a question today, but I think you're gonna talk most of the time. So I want to know, for example, from the moment of the shot, okay, because we were talking about this a little bit the previous episode. So now, um, what do you think about how to preserve the meat? So I just had my game. I it was a successful hunt. I'm in front of my game. I'm in front of my animal on the ground. So what is going to happen?
What a wonderful moment, that one. Okay,
It's the
so
real work. Everyone say the real work starts. So yeah.
okay, so first of all, you're gonna cut open the animal and take out all the guts he has inside, the blood, which could be lost during the shot. So clean from the inside, which is the most important part at the beginning. Speaking about that, bring with yourself always. Try to do it. Plastic bags where to put all the organs of the animal. I suggest to bring more than one to separate a little bit the organs because, for instance, I'm great lover of the tripe, and there would be a waste to throw it to the foxes if it's a good shot. And it's better to keep it separated. Tripes, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys, and so on. So first thing, take everything out,
Okay.
and that
So
is
that's
is the first part.
sorry to cut you, but then you're telling me that actually I'm not leaving anything outside. I mean, on the ground or whatever. You're taking everything: lungs, liver, kidney, intestine, stomach. You want to bring everything back home, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Just I mean it's a shame because
That's
this
where all the taste.
yeah it's you're talking to me. I'm an average hunter, okay, and I'm not telling you that most of the time when I get back to home, it's I go back home with liver and the
Uh-huh.
heart. All the other stuff, probably kidney sometimes I bring back, but all the other stuff, lungs, trachea, intestine, stomach, I leave there.
Well, the intestines is not a big deal. I mean, you can leave it. You can
Okay,
leave it to the other animals, to the
okay,
predators.
okay.
But the kidneys, the lungs, the tripe, you can do a lot of stuff with that, and it's really wonderful. Tastes
So
great.
tribes is the stomach.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, so in the ruminants we have different stomachs, but most of the time it's like okay, the biggest one. Okay, or
All the
just
all the
the
four. All
complex,
the
the
four.
complex.
Yeah,
Okay,
all the
okay,
complex. Yeah.
okay, okay. Right.
The whole
Okay,
stomach.
keep going. Sorry.
But I think we're gonna speak about all that in another episode.
Yeah.
The next step, you just put it in your car and you bring it home.
Hmm.
You
Okay.
don't need to. You don't need, and you don't have to take the
Yeah.
skin off right into the field. If you have the
Okay. So
possibility to hang it home.
okay. So you bringing back home the animal with the skin on, and then it
Yeah.
depends if you have like certain. I mean, if you have home a fridge actually, like a cell, so that then you can put the animal inside, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, with the skin on,
okay,
with the skin on. But even if you don't have it, it's better to leave the skin on. It's kind of protection of the animal. So just leave it on if you can, and if you can manage to bring the animal home,
yeah.
and then you can skin it home. It's
Okay,
much
so
much
most
better. You're gonna be much more comfortable. You're gonna do it in the cleanest way, which
okay.
is really important for the meat.
Yeah, so we are thinking probably like early season, so we're in the fall, winter season. Okay, so even
Mm-hmm.
leaving the animal outside in the garage or whatever it is, it's okay. You know, the temperatures outside
It
is not
is.
that okay.
It
So
is.
how many days I leave this animal with the skin on, and before starting the process?
Normally, the best thing would be leave it for a week, more or less.
A week, but you need a certain temperature, right? You need a
Yeah,
cell
yeah,
that
yeah.
okay, okay.
Let's say during the winter between 2 4 degrees Celsius is not a bad. If you during the summer, if you have a cell, a fridge,
Yeah,
it's much much better, of course.
it's much better. Okay, so what if I am a garage, whatever it is, that is fresh, but I'm not sure about that is really low in temperature, like a cell. So can I go up to the 7 days, or I have to stop before to be safe?
No, you have to stop before. Actually, you have to check every day the animal
Okay,
if it has a little bit of mold coming, if it's not dry enough,
okay,
and if you I mean, you know animals, you know that it doesn't have to taste bad. It's meat.
okay. So you're
So you
checking
just have
every
to
day.
check it every day. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
Every day you check it. If it's summer, you don't have a fridge. Well,
yeah,
then you start to skin it and you start to butcher it
so that's you.
as you do it after the 7 days of aging during winter or with the
Okay,
cell.
but summer, for example, is I have to do straight away because it's gonna be under odd temperature. So I just have to do straight away, right? Or I have to wait.
Definitely.
Okay, okay, so that's good. Okay, carcass there. I start to skin the animal, and but before getting there, we have, for example, some of the organs in our hands that the same day of the hunt. So that means that I can start to prepare something, right? I can do something with the liver, can do something with the
Well,
heart.
definitely, definitely.
Okay.
There's plenty of things you can do with that. Actually, the first two ones that you have to cook straight away, if you don't have a blast chiller or if you don't want to preserve it
Okay.
in the freezer or in the fridge,
The
are
liver and the heart.
the liver and the
Okay.
heart and the
Okay.
kidneys also.
Okay. Okay.
That
So
could be cooked like a steak, rare, the heart,
okay. Yeah.
so like really really
Yeah.
fast
Just on the
on the frying
fire.
pan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
With the liver, if you are certain of the good health of the animal, you can
Right.
even eat it raw. I mean, I serve it
Raw.
sometimes raw. Yeah, pretty much raw.
Wow. We
A
we
kind of
uh,
tataki, like the
okay.
Japanese way. You just sear it from the outside, and then
Yeah.
you slice it really thin. You season it with whatever you want, and then you just eat it. It's pretty wild and hard stuff. I mean, you have to get used to that. You have to like it. But I think once you've tried it, you never come back.
Okay, what? This is my curiosity because I'm discovering a lot of stuff with you. What things I should have? Like just the basic of the basic. What kind of things I can handle the liver to eat raw? What do you put? Lemon? What do you put? What do you put on that?
The lemon will cook it, and it will cover a little bit the
The
taste
flavor.
of the liver.
Okay.
Yeah, the flavor.
Okay. Okay.
What I suggest is a little bit of salt and pepper on top of it.
Mhm.
If you have it, a little bit of sesame seeds. And
Oh.
what is really nice on that, it's like the spring onions or the leeks. Cut it fresh, really thin, put it on top
Yeah.
like on a salad, and that
Oh.
gives the freshness. And it's a little bit spicy when it's really fresh. So it's gonna make the balance between the sweetness and the taste of iron and blood you have in the
So
liver.
yeah, so that actually is kind of interesting because that things could work in like like in a salad. If you cut really like in small squares, you can put in a salad, right?
You can.
Oh,
Definitely.
nice.
I like to eat it like this. I mean, just cut it and season it, a little bit of oil
Yeah,
on top, and eat it. But you can, I mean, free your
and that is
imagination from that.
yeah,
Once you try it, you recognize the flavor.
yeah,
You can do whatever you want.
yeah, and that is like a big source of iron in proteins. Actually,
It
it's
is,
I
and
remember my
actually,
mother. My mother gave me a lot of liver from the beef, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to finish this." And I was like, but I have to say, kind of healthy. It's just giving you a big push on iron and proteins. It's like,
it is, it
yeah,
is, and especially with the liver, with the heart, the less is cooked, the best it
yeah,
is for keeping all the properties it has.
nice, nice. Okay, for the intestine and stomach, I think we're gonna talk about that later in something more
Okay,
specific. Okay, so
definitely.
we're gonna keep this really basic. Okay, just give a little bit of the what could be done with this easy. Just after the hunt.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now back to the carcass. Okay, we finished the conservation part. I mean, the process of keeping there and make it uh, give the time to the muscle fiber to tenderize a little bit. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so so what do you do? What do you? And now you start to take the skin out. So
Yeah,
tell us
you
what
you
what
just
what
skin
is
and
the yeah,
the technique. What it is, what I learned from hunters. Just use one hand for the knife, and the other one for grabbing the skin, the dirty part. So
okay. So
it's
one
clean
hand is the
hand,
dirty
dirty
one.
hand.
Clean it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And you just go with
Nice.
that, and you just skin it, the old
Yeah.
animal.
Yes.
And from that, it depends on which are your skills with knives and hatchet.
Hmm.
You can separate it in two halves and then start to work on it.
Okay.
Or you just light it down on a table and then butcher it piece by piece, cut by cut on the table.
So it doesn't
So
matter. Doesn't matter actually if you cut the carcass in two symmetric parts. So you could even put all the carcass on the table and start to take all the muscle
you
from the
can,
from the skeleton. Okay.
you
Yeah,
can,
because I found out that if you don't have the right tools, sometimes you cannot really cut really in the right way to the two symmetric thing, two symmetric parts. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
ended to have some kind of issues in probably on the backstrap. You're gonna touch the backstrap if you don't cut really well, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And one thing which is really bad for the meat to preserve and something I don't really like at all.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right tools to go on it, please don't smash it with hammers, knives, hatchet, because
Yeah.
all the little parts of the bones at the ends finish into the meat, which is
To the
not a
meat.
good.
That's good.
If you use a chainsaw to cut it in half,
Hmm.
all the small bone powder that comes off
Yeah.
that increase the speed of reproduction of the bacteria on the
So
meat
that
and
guys,
on the bone. So
what you're
go
saying is
on the
so important.
articulation if you can,
Yeah. Yeah. On the
and
joint.
yeah, yeah, on the
Yeah.
joint.
What you're saying is so fucking important because sorry for the term, but that I have to say, first of all, I'm first person I did that so many times, and I tried to with the axe, I tried with the hammer, I tried to do, and at the end, it's just like a chaos, and I have a lot of issues because actually you create the base, sorry, to 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 allow the bacteria to grow up,
Yep,
and then it doesn't matter you put in a freezer if the process started when you defrost that meat it's gonna be a piece of shit, sorry guys, but that has to be a careful process.
it
So
is.
how do you cut the carcass in two parts? What do you use? What is the best things to use in your opinion?
In my opinion, with the skills I have,
Yeah.
I use a very sharp hatchet with a hammer
Okay.
if I need it. You
Okay,
just
which
go
is
in, following the spine
okay.
and going through. Then there
But
are a few hints, but we can speak about it in the
later,
next episode. Yeah, later. There are a few hints to do it if you don't have
yeah,
the right
yeah,
skill.
yeah, yeah,
And then it depends because sometimes you have a big animal like a deer, like a red
yeah.
deer, and you don't have the tools and the skills to do it.
True,
So
true,
it's just
true.
that you you have
Yeah,
to go
and then
with the animal, lie down on the table and work on that.
okay, let's go off really quick on probably the just some of the basic cut. We're not gonna cover everything, but just like the basic cut that you try to do, first of all, when you have the carcass there on the table, okay?
Yeah.
So just tell us what are the typical cut or the cut that you have to pay a little more attention, and then after, of course, I'm gonna say now, guys, we're gonna try to talk about species by species. So because uh, this is what happened with talking with Paolo is that there are things that you can do with the roe deer, and there are things that you can do with the red deer, and
Oh
things
yeah,
again with
a
the
lot.
wild boar is going to be different. So we're going to ask him questions species by species in the future, but now he's going to give us just a little bit some basic that could be applied to every species. So okay, some basic cuts that are
The
nice
the
to do.
basic yeah, the basic cut I normally do are separate the two shoulders. They're not attached
Okay.
with a joint to the carcass, so you cut it open and you take it away, and you have the two shoulders. Then I cut away the neck.
Yep.
Then I separate the two legs,
Yep.
and then you have the thorax and you have the loin, and you separate that. So you're gonna have all the ribs, and from the other part you're gonna have the loin and the fillet. And that is the first part of butchering the animal. Then from that part, cut by cut, the legs, the shoulder, the
Yep.
loins, and so on. You're gonna separate it and cut all in smaller pieces and smaller cuts. What I like is following the muscles, like you're butchering a breed animal, the same thing. So you just keep all the cuts you have in a breed animal. You're gonna do the same thing with the wild game.
With a wild game. So actually, it's like trying to follow the joint when you, for
Yep,
example, want to take uh, the leg out off. Sorry, from the carcass. So probably we will explain a little bit better, and probably in the future we're gonna make even if this situation we're gonna evolve with some videos. This is our project. So I'm spoiling a little bit, but it's okay. That
that would be perfect to
there
explain.
will be spoiling a little bit too much, I think, today. So and then, so team stuff is gonna be angry too with me. Anyway, um, so following the joint, and actually even when you try to take the different muscle from the leg is just trying to follow the fiber,
It
right?
is. It
Okay.
is.
So
Because in the end, the
knowing
muscle are all separated from this membrane, and you just have
yeah,
to find the membrane and separate it, and that's it. And
yeah,
you have all the clean cut
yeah,
of meat right
yeah.
to use,
And
right to cook.
sometimes I have to say that it doesn't need to use all the time the knife. Sometimes even your hands try
Oh
to
yeah,
understand
yeah,
where the muscle goes and when the muscle finish
yeah.
with with the tendons, and so that's nice. And then you can use the knife when you understand really well the anatomy, and then it will be a lot easier when you follow
That's
with
the
your hands
first.
first. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the first part. You have to know
yeah,
what you're doing and your food how it's done. You have to know the
yeah,
prime matter, and the only thing it's just with the hands
yeah,
and doing it and take practice and keep going. Make a lot of mistakes, of course,
yeah. That's the way.
but
That's the way to learn. That's the way. I'm
it is.
sorry to
It
say that.
is.
That's the way to learn in different sectors. It's like that always. So, okay, we have the carcass and all the different pieces. So now that's good. And I last question for you. Uh, what about the head? Is really impossible to use the head, or there's some ways that the head could be used for some cooking?
Well, there's plenty of use you can do. You can do with the head.
Yeah.
We're gonna speak about it much better with the species. But what I can say is that if you don't have the trophy on that, you can split it in half and cook it on the charcoal. You can boil it and use it like boiled meat to put in a salad.
Wow.
With the wild boar, you can even make a kind of charcuterie, a kind of salume
That's true.
with the
Yeah.
boiled head.
Yeah. Yeah. And you
So
still have
there's
some
plenty of
muscle.
things,
You
and you
still have
still have
even.
some muscle. Yeah,
Yeah.
from the jaws.
Yeah.
There's the brain, which is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. No. The.
Uh, so yeah, from the head to the tail, there's a lot of things. You don't have to waste
Well,
anything, which is not ruined by the shot.
that's amazing. So, guys, we reached the end of the podcast, and actually now I think we're getting step by step, and I'm pretty happy about that. So, nice. We just have to go to the next episode, that it will be like every week. So I'm not gonna say anything about it because, of course,
Don't spoil, don't
no,
spoil.
I know. So good. Thanks, Paolo, and
Thank you.
so see everyone with the next episode next week. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thank
Bye,
you. Bye.
Paolo. Thank you again.
Ciao.
Bye, 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 bye.